Still no sign of a little girl after she fell into the Madison River near Three Forks. As the days go by, when will searchers scale back efforts? Hear from them.
And UM's president says the release of Jon Krakauer's book offers an opportunity to learn. The Fox Montana News starts right now.
Right now, this is Fox Montana Local News at 9, your local news leader.
Searchers are not abandoning efforts to find a missing 8-year-old girl who fell into the Madison River Sunday night. Good evening and welcome to the Fox Montana News at 9. I'm David Winter.
And I'm Angela Marshall. As the search enters its third day, there have been no signs of the little girl and no relief for family or friends. Crews today continue to scour the area where she was last seen, including the confluence of the Jefferson and Madison rivers, as well as possible locations downstream. Additional gear was brought in today, including more underwater cameras and sonic technology. Now, this allowed divers for the first time today to enter the water. They faced numerous challenges like strong currents and poor visibility. In addition to the Gallatin County Sheriff's Office, the Montana Highway Patrol, Civil Air Patrol, and local volunteers are also lending a helping hand.
It's 49 hours and counting. That's how long crews have searched for the young girl.
But even as the minutes, hours, and even days pass, they won't give up. ABC Fox Montana Spencer Conlon joins us now live from Headwaters State Park to explain. Spencer?
Angela and David, earlier this week, Gallatin County Sheriff Brian Gutkin told us he has every intent of finding that little girl. Since Monday, over 40 search and rescuers have been scouring the Madison River for any traces of the young girl. There have been no additions or subtractions to that number. Sheriff Gutkin tells me calling off a search is a difficult decision and only comes when a search and rescuers have exhausted the search area. He says they will not slow down anytime soon.
We're not there. We're not even close to thinking about that yet. One of our concerns is that Thursday, it looks like there's some weather coming in and it doesn't look good for the weekend. So that's why we're hitting it really hard today and tomorrow and, hope for the best because weather can really affect our search.
Angela and David, crews focused their efforts today on a particular area just north of the command center at the Missouri Headwaters State Park. It is unclear, however, at this point what has led them to that location. Now, crews once again will be out here again first thing tomorrow morning. Reporting live outside of Three Forks, Spencer Conlon, back to you guys.
All right, thanks, Spencer. Well, still to come, a message from UM's president following the release of Jon Krakauer's latest book about rape on college campuses. We'll have that story in 60 seconds.
But first, our string of sunny days is about to come to an end. Here's Dave Cochran with your Fox First forecast.
Hey David, hey Angela. Yeah, we got a nice stretch of sunshine out there, but it's all going to be changing over the course of the next few days. Another cold front means rain, maybe even a few thunderstorms. Now, you're not going to see an awful lot on Montana Doppler radar, except a small, thin line of showers that's come ashore there in Washington State. Won't be quite as cold tonight. Wednesday, clouds, cooler, a little bit of rain, breezy too, and maybe even a few thunderstorms are possible. We're expecting some more clouds and rain over the weekend and through the weekend too. As far as daytime highs for Wednesday, they will be a little bit warmer than normal, but I doubt we'll be setting any records. We've got a little more weather in just minutes here, but right now, here's Angela and David.
It's now number 3 on Apple iTunes list of audiobooks, number 22 on iBooks.
And Jon Krakauer's book, Missoula, Rape in the Justice System in a College Town, is just flying off of bookstore shelves.
It's been a steady stream of people that are buying one at a time, maybe 2 at a time to take, and I know there's some book clubs that plan to read and discuss. People are curious, people are serious, they want to talk.
Thoreau says about 50 people pre-ordered the book and others frequented the store today for the sole purpose of purchasing it. The best-selling author of Into Thin Air and Into the Wild takes a look at a string of sexual assaults that occurred at UM between 2010 and 2012. Krakauer examines the university court system as well as the handling of those cases by the Missoula County Attorney's Office. The book details the actions of Kirsten Papps, who was the deputy county attorney at the time, now county attorney. Papps will hold a press conference about the book tomorrow at noon. The University of Montana's president says that this book will serve as an opportunity to learn, to improve, and to lead.
In an email sent to students and staff this morning, Royce Engstrom said the university has learned a great deal over the past 3.5 years and is aware of the work ahead. The university has revised policies, offered mandatory training, new and improved programs, and hired additional personnel. He said, quote, UM is stronger, safer, and better aligned with best practices because of our continuing work. Now, the Chronicle of Higher Education recently asked Engstrom to submit an essay outlining his views on signs of progress for curbing sexual assault on campus.
Well, a health alert for you tonight. A recent report shows sexually transmitted diseases are on the rise in the Big Sky country. In 2014, Montana's gonorrhea cases nearly doubled to more than 400, according to the Department of Public Health and Human Services. At least half of last year's STD cases reported were among people ages 15 to 24. University campuses are working to reduce cases by encouraging all to have healthy communications with their partners.
Getting into a relationship with somebody, it's always important to ask those questions like, what is this relationship going to look like? Is it a monogamous relationship or isn't it? Is it going to be a sexual relationship or isn't it? Those are all really good questions that you should have and conversations that you should be comfortable having.
Montana's chlamydia cases increased to more than 4,100 last year. Health officials highly encourage people to take advantage of STD screenings, many of which are offered free of charge at Montana universities. Well, good news for Montana's healthcare system. 7 Montana health facilities are named among the top 100 critical access hospitals nationwide. The recognition from iVantage Health Analytics uses 62 different metrics, including quality, affordability, and satisfaction. Facilities making the list in western Montana include Livingston Healthcare, Barrett Memorial Hospital in Dillon, and Community Hospital of Anaconda. We have the full list posted on our website. Well, yearly standardized testing in schools could become a thing of the past if Senator Jon Tester gets his way.
ABC Fox Montana's Mackenzie Allen has more.
In some states and school districts, rigid annual testing may be the right way to go. But in a lot of schools in Montana and many places in this country, I can tell you that high-stakes testing is an expensive way to judge school districts, and it's a bad way to prepare kids for the future.
Very few people get excited about the idea of taking a standardized test, but for more than a decade they have been a yearly part of being a student or a teacher. This morning, Senator Jon Tester announced a bill that would change all of that.
I'm introducing a bill to end federal annual testing requirement and replace it with grade span testing. That means instead of the federal government requiring that students take a test every year, they will be required to take one test in elementary school, one test in middle school, and one test in high school.
This announcement comes on the heels of the unanimous committee passage of the Every Child Achieves Act, a bill with some major changes to No Child Left Behind, including allowing states to set their own standards.
We're going to offer this up as a potential amendment to the bill once it hits the floor. Why? Because I think it's the right thing to do.
Tester isn't the only Montanan unhappy with the current state of affairs. A statement released by Senator Daines' office says the junior senator, quote, strongly believes that No Child Left Behind needs a major overhaul to reduce the federal footprint in education policy and to ensure parents, teachers, and local communities are empowered to make decisions that best fit students' unique needs, rather than forced to follow bureaucratic, one-size-fits-none mandates. In Kalispell, Mackenzie Allen, ABC Fox Montana.
Under Tester's bill, school districts wanting to continue annual testing would be allowed to do so.
Governor Steve Bullock addresses the growing problem of bullying by signing an anti-bullying bill into law today. Governor Bullock says that he signed the bill as a governor, an interested community member, and as a father. The Bully-Free Montana Act, formerly House Bill 284, instructs local school districts to create a process whereby students and their families can report and address bullying. Montana legislators changed their minds about the future of the Montana Developmental Center in Boulder. 15 legislators who originally voted against closing the MDC changed their votes to now support closing the center. And if Senate Bill 411 passes, the center will shut down entirely and most of the patients will be relocated to community centers. Extreme needs patients will be temporarily allowed to stay at the center while it phases into complete closure. The bill will go to the Senate for its second reading tomorrow. And more legislators changed their minds in a vote for a bill that would allow elementary school districts like Hellgate Elementary in Missoula to expand by adding their own high schools. The House failed Senate Bill 107 today after narrowly approving it on a preliminary vote last week. The measure would give local residents of elementary school districts the option to expand into K-12 districts. Although the bill failed its final vote in the House, the bill could be reconsidered tomorrow.
Family and friends remember beloved Moonlight Basin owner and founder Lee Poole, who passed away on Saturday. The 66-year-old, known for his generosity, developed Big Sky Land into the Moonlight Basin in the 1990s. Moonlight Basin is now a popular ski and golf resort. Longtime friends who work for the entrepreneur say of Poole, "What you saw is what you got."
With Lee, what you saw was what you got, and it didn't matter who you were or what the situation was. He was just an incredible man of integrity, and he didn't change whether the camera was on or off. He was just the same person.
Poole passed away at Bozeman Deaconess Hospital. Friends of Poole say a memorial service is tentatively set for May 16th in Bozeman. And Dave Cochran joining us now, where we're expected to see changes in our weather scene.
A little rain on the way. In fact, as I've got a weather photo that came into pictures at abcfoxmontana.com. Looks like there was a little rain or maybe some dew that morning. Gene sent us this picture. We've had some trouble with pictures at abcfoxmontana.com. The email box had a bit of a nervous breakdown, but it works now. So we'd like to see your pictures too. And Gene, thanks for taking the time to send us that tulip picture. I'm back with an update on those changes Angela was talking about next.
Tracking the weather for Western Montana, Fox Montana is the Weather Authority.
Good evening from the Fox Montana Weather Center. Hope you had a good Tuesday today. Check out some of the high temperatures. Made it to 72 in Kalispell and Missoula. It's pretty nice. 73 in Helena. We were at 67 in Bozeman, 65 in Butte, 68 in Dillon. And we might be in that general neighborhood again tomorrow. It all depends on the timing of the cold front that's coming our way. Clear tonight in Bozeman, 51 degrees. We're at 56 in Butte. There's clouds, though, in Dillon in 56. Clear in Missoula, 58 degrees. We're cloudy in Kalispell, 57 degrees. As we look down on Missoula from our HD weather cam on top of TV Mountain, and see the clouds developing on the horizon there a little sooner today than we saw yesterday. Of course, we are expecting clouds to be developing tomorrow too, ahead of that cold front. It was the same story in Butte today, with clouds developing sooner today than they did yesterday, and we'll probably see even more tomorrow. Not one, not two, three weather systems to put on your radar right now. We've got the one that's come ashore. That's cold front we're talking about. This looks like our weekend coming our way. Yeah, I'd like it to be a little nicer and sunnier, but it looks like we're going to see some clouds and some moisture from this. Really looks like it's kind of just aiming right for us now. And there's a third one out there that's starting to show up on the big satellite picture. That's going to be sometime next week. We'll worry about that then. What about the Futurecast model? Well, as we zoom on in and take a look, there's a cold front. Yep, we're expecting breezy conditions out there. There is going to be a little bit of rain passing through the area just ahead of the front. So let's also expect the possibility of a couple of thunderstorms out there too, because temperatures starting to rise enough so we could see some thunderstorm activity. And we're watching the wind forecast model to see how many trash cans we'll put on trash can weather tomorrow. Not too much. Here's the front as it makes its way across Washington into Montana. So really it's in the lower third here of the scale that we have as far as winds are concerned. So let's guess right now that I'll be forecasting winds of 15 to 20, maybe 25 miles an hour. Those would be the wind gusts ahead of the cold front. We'll talk about that tomorrow. Right now I'll take the break and come back with the 7-day forecast next.
You're watching Fox Montana Local News at 9, your local news leader.
A 24-year-old Missoula man now says that he's guilty in a drug-related explosion that sent 2 people, including a toddler, to the hospital. Police say Patrick Wayne Austin was making a marijuana concentrate or hash oil, causing the October explosion. Austin, an 18-year-old woman, and her 19-month-old daughter were in the apartment at the time. He's charged with 5 felonies, including criminal child endangerment and drug charges. Austin pleaded guilty today to 4 of those 5 charges. State prosecutors dropped the other count.
Fish, Wildlife and Parks closes bighorn sheep hunting in the Plains area due to an outbreak of disease. A population survey found only 18 bighorns in the hunting district. FWP says that's the lowest number since the herd's introduction in 1979. About 200 people already applied for the 10 available licenses. They can request a different district or receive a refund. FWP closed bighorn sheep hunting near Gardner after pneumonia killed 34 sheep. Wildlife officials in the Flathead Valley tried to trap a grizzly bear believed to have killed livestock, but instead they netted 2 innocent bears. According to FWP, a large male grizzly was implicated in the death of a calf. Traps were set. While they did catch 2 bears, they say the bear they were looking for was nowhere to be found. The 2 captured bears have been released to the Hungry Horse Reservoir and Lost Creek. For now, FWP is hopeful the bear will not be a problem.
We kept the trap in there until late last week and saw no more signs either on our remote camera or the drawing him into the trap. So we pulled the trap because he apparently left the area.
FWP recommends removing anything that could attract a bear, like bags of garbage, and using electric fencing to protect animals.
Well, as drought plagues parts of the nation, many out-of-state ranchers look to Montana for replacement cattle.
ABC Fox Montana's Nessa Wright has more on the booming cattle industry here in the Big Sky State.
Montana ranchers are cashing in on replacement cattle sales to other states after years of drought have taken a toll on raising cattle.
They're mainly buying replacement heifers that they can take down and breed to bulls in their area.
Many states turning to Montana, where we are known for producing grade A beef livestock.
Texas, Louisiana, Oklahoma, and all other parts of the world. So the Montana genetics are very well known in the United States, and as they replace, we'll see a lot more of our genetics through those areas.
Those drought-stricken areas, they've emptied their cattle out. They are looking for quality cattle, and of course Montana's the place to come.
Although livestock experts say agriculture is the #1 gross domestic product in the U.S., long periods of drought can have a negative impact on the Angus industry in Montana too.
We haven't been able to send cattle there out of this part of the country because of the drought. So it's affecting us on both ends of us, that's for sure.
As more states come out of the drought like Texas and Oklahoma, cattle auctions expect to see an influx in replacement cattle sales. But it's not just states across the U.S. that are buying cattle from Montana. The demand for beef is worldwide.
We're exporting more beef to other nations than we ever have in history because people have gotten a taste of what the Americans can raise in beef, and they like it.
In Ramsey, Nessa Wright, ABC Fox, Montana.
Here in Montana, cattle is a multi-million-dollar industry where the average replacement heifer is selling for $2,000 to $3,000 a head.
$2,000 to $3,000 a head.
It's a lot for a heifer.
It is.
I tell you, I had no idea, but now I know. So they're probably out of my price range. Maybe next year we can pick up a heifer. In the meantime, we can talk tennis. They made the NCAA tournament last year, and this year the Grizzly men's team is looking to make it back-to-back appearances. We check in on the team before the Big Sky tournament this weekend. Up next.
Fox Montana Sports with Dominic Sheldon.
This time last year, the Grizzly men's tennis team was on a tear, and they eventually took home the Big Sky Conference title, giving them a berth into the NCAA tournament. They hope to do that again this season with the Big Sky Conference tournament right around the corner. Sean Rainey tells us how they hope to do just that.
With the Big Sky Conference Tennis Championships later this week, and judging by their warm-ups, it seems as though the defending champion Grizzlies are relaxed and poised heading into the tournament.
I feel like we're free-rolling a little bit. You know, last year there was a lot of tension. We had a good team, 5 seniors, they all participated, and they wanted it so badly that we had to overcome that last year too. This year we've got good talent, and everybody gets to come back and give it a crack again next year. So it's less pressure. I really hope we just go down there and compete well and enjoy the experience.
The Grizz are a young team with no seniors and just 3 guys returning from last year. They struggled out of the gates but have played excellent tennis down the stretch and finished tied for second after beating Montana State in Bozeman.
Yeah, it was very big. It was like very good for our confidence for the conference tournament. And that was also their place, and they did everything they could to win.
I feel we have the momentum right now. We're the team that no one wants to play. I feel if we play like we can play, I don't think anyone's going to beat us. I think it's going to be good tournament.
Most teams say defending a championship is harder than winning it the first time, but the Grizz think a little differently.
I felt like we've been defending it all season because we've got good efforts from the other teams, but it's a nice place to be. I feel like the pressure's off, and it's a little easier to do it the second time when we finally get that first one in the pocket.
The tournament is in Sacramento, and there's one big difference about championship weekend compared to the rest of the matches.
There's a trophy at the end of it. I think that's the big difference. Everyone sees a trophy and they want a trophy. I mean, like last year was such a good experience winning it. I mean, normally it's just a match you win, it goes down on the record, and you move on to the next one. This one, like, it's knockout. Like, it's just completely different kind of mentality.
The Grizz are the 3 seed and open up the tournament against number 6 Northern Arizona on Friday. In Missoula, Sean Rainey, ABC Fox Montana Sports.
The Montana State track and field team is returning home after what they say was a hugely successful trip to California. The Cats competed in the Mount Sac Relays in Walnut, California, where they came back to Bozeman with several new school records. First off, Carly McCutcheon broke Montana State's heptathlon record and then led the 4x4 relay team to a new school record as well. Heather DeMorest also had a big weekend, finishing 5th in the steeplechase, good enough for tops in the conference, and the Cats return home later this week for a duel on the road at Missoula.
It went well. I had big goals for California, so it didn't go quite as well as I had hoped, but it was still a lot of fun, and I competed well and ran one of my PRs, so it was good.
I just think it was really a great week, and my only regret is I wish we could have taken more kids down there. We went down with 23 kids, and I'd like to have another 10 or so kids that I felt like really deserved to go, but we just couldn't fund it.
To high school softball we go. Belgrade hosting the Golden Eagles from Fergus. First inning, Belgrade runners at the corners. A double steal nets them a run. Hannah Goulet comes in all the way from first to score 2 runs on the play. Panthers lead 3-0. Up 4-0 in the third, the sensational freshman Ty Atwood launches a deep bomb to center, clears the fence. Like that, it's 5-0. Later, it's Jordan Branch at the plate, and that ball hit deep, way back, and once again over the fence. Her 7th of the year. She's tied for the school record with most home runs. Belgrade wins it big, 13-2. It was also a beautiful day for softball in Livingston. Park hosting Butte Central. To kick things off in the top of the second inning, Central's Shawnee Helt with a drive to center, gets past the defender, 1 run scores. Helt gets all the way to third for the standing triple. Next batter's Corbin Hom, grounds one up the middle. Helt scores easily. It's 4-0 Maroons. And that's all they needed with Teresa Piazzolla on the mound. There she gets Destiny Ingram with a strikeout. Later, once again, gets the strikeout again with ducks on the pond. Butte Central wins it 7-3. That does it for sports. We'll be back after this.
So it was a great day in the neighborhood, one of those days where you wanted to go sit outside, have lunch or dinner. That's exactly what you did earlier today.
Yeah, beautiful outside too. This was the picture at Lake McDonald at 8:30 this morning.
Wow.
The water was just like a plate of glass there. Not a cloud in the sky. Of course, that's changing tomorrow. You saw the forecast. We'll see some thunderstorms, but oh, when the weather is magnificent in Montana, well, next to the word magnificent in the dictionary, there's a picture of Montana.
That was stunning.
Couldn't have said it better, and what a great
picture.
photo, that's for sure. We'll see you back here on the ABC Montana News at 10.
Good night.